Guys, if there's one thing we love more than talking about reality TV, it's a good vacation.
Sometimes you just need to escape the drama. Am I right?
You're not wrong. And there's no better place to escape to than Spectrum Resorts, rated a top 10 family beach resort with 2 amazing full-service beachfront properties.
Turquoise Place and the Beach Club Resort and Spa in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
There she is.
Guys, we recently got back from Turquoise Place, and let me tell you, this was next level vacationing.
Shout out to that complimentary breakfast, our beautiful balcony overlooking the white sand beaches, and that gorgeous water.
Plus, the on-site dining, shopping, spa services, resort-style pools, and more. Can we please go back?
I'm counting down the days, Teresa. And if you guys want an amazing getaway, right now we can save you $200 off your next reservation by using promo code POD1.
That's right. Just make sure you book directly through Spectrum Resorts and use promo code POD1 to save $200. As always, I'll have John put links in the show notes.
Thank you to Spectrum Resorts for this incredible getaway and for sponsoring this podcast. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Last Resort edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa right there.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? What's up?
Oh, my gosh.
Why are you laughing?
I wish I had my breaking news sound effect ready to go. I thought we just threw back to the news desk the way you just entered the chat.
Well, I was glued to the TV
Oh my
before.
gosh. And maybe it won't come through audio only, but the way you like snapped your head to the side like you were hitting your mark, it was unbelievable. Teresa, turn the news off. Turn the TV off. Step away from the hurricane coverage.
Please, don't even get me started on... What's her name?
Adalia?
Idalia. Thank you.
Please.
So, yes, since we're already talking about this, guys, Florida peeps, stay safe because Idalia is going to make a landfall.
Yeah, it is her fault if she does. Yeah.
They will. She will.
Yeah, it is 2023 day, I think. is the appropriate. You don't want to misgender a storm.
They will
Yes.
in the panhandle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it's already affecting Tampa Bay area. And guys, the storm surge is no joke. Please stay safe. We have a lot of peeps over there. I talked to some of you. Keep us posted. Stay safe. This is classic Florida. We'll get through this.
I hope so. I feel like one of these times it's going to be for real.
What do you mean?
We've lived in Florida now over 5 years.
Well, for us,
Not bragging.
we don't live in Tampa Bay or on the Panhandle.
No, I'm just saying we've weathered a number of storms through our time here in Florida, and we've got lucky, I'll say.
Knock it.
That was a knock break. We got lucky, but I just feel like, I don't want to say our luck has run out. I don't think it has, but we are recording a few hours before landfall, and so let's hope it's a tropical storm.
Yeah, I'm worried it's not going to be. It will turn into one, but I think it's going to land as category 3.
All right.
Which is no bueno.
All right.
I feel really bad for the West because there's still parts of the West Coast that are recovering from the last hurricane.
The west coast of Florida or California?
Florida.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So I just hope it won't be that bad. Let's just hope, and you guys stay safe. Talk to us. Let us know.
Yeah,
I would love to know. Keep us posted. We'll be thinking of everyone and ourselves because we are in Florida.
Yeah. But that's not the storm I want to talk about. I'd rather talk about Hurricane Angela if we could. I'd like to use this as a little escape from the news.
Absolutely.
I think that's what our friends tune in for, to escape the nonsense of the real world. And so I'd like to give that to them and to us.
I hope your devices are charged.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to our friends?
They're friends.
Oh, okay. Well, I just filled up my car full of gas. Are you filled up?
No.
We were just at the store and I felt like I should have reminded you and then I completely forgot.
I have some gas. So,
Hey, all right.
Always.
Keep that to yourself in more ways than one, please.
I think I have like 150 miles in my car.
All right. Well, I'm topped off. So
Look at you.
I think we'll be good. But let's see. All right. We're all in this together. Florida strong, 90 days strong, because we got a lot of 90 days in Florida.
Yeah, hopefully.
Not just fans.
Hopefully they won't do too big of a damage.
Who? Oh, Adalia.
Yes.
I thought you meant our 90 days.
No, I'm living in the
You're being
21st
politically
century.
correct. All right. Okay.
All right.
Enough storm talk. Although I think I was going to say maybe this Isla Bella resort may face some damage, but no,
I don't think so. They're on the west. They're on the east.
That's Keys. All right. Moving on. Before we get into the meat of the episode, real quick, a little business. If you want even more content, if you're saying, well, I get the 90 day on Monday, I get the last resort on Wednesday, but what am I going to do with my Tuesday? Well, join us on Patreon and Supercast because we're covering the other way over there.
Woo-hoo!
And we drop it on Tuesdays. Okay, so if you want that extra coverage, check it out, patreon.com/marriedtoreality or marriedtoreality.supercast.com. You get the audio coverage at the Cousins Club level, and you get audio video plus a monthly bonus on the Family Affair level. And we just covered, and this is kind of big. A lot of people said, when are you going to cover this show? And we did, okay? We did. We covered the first episode of Sister Wives on the Family Affair level this past week. And
yes.
If you want to hear that, well, join the Family Affair level.
Yes. We just did a bonus. Let's just clarify.
Oh, yeah, just the first episode.
Yeah.
That's it, one and only.
Yes, one and done.
Yes.
Because Cody is a creep, but...
Yeah, OTOTO.
What does that mean?
One time only.
Oh.
Yeah.
OT, one time, OT. Oh. Okay.
OTOTO.
Okay.
Okay, one time only.
Where did you learn that?
You don't want to know.
Like a sex party?
No. I think it's like a restaurant thing. Oh no, that's LTO. That's limited time only. I don't know.
It's like BYOB. Like, what else are we gonna cover?
I don't know. Okay.
Back to you, John.
Thanks. So that's Patreon. That's Supercast. We're also on Instagram. Check us out there at Married to Reality Pod. You guys can follow along. We share memes once in a while that we come up with. We share scheduling updates. And most importantly, and most fun, it's where we message with you guys.
Yeah, I talk to you. John's lurking in the background.
I creep. So yeah, at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. It's a good time. Also, just make sure you're following the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's hot. It's TLC's freaking editing because they gave us a big tease. And it was something else.
TLC Dynamite.
Exactly. And I'm here for the teases because it always gets me super excited. Like, oh my gosh, is it really happening? And then it's something else, which wasn't bad either. It was just a little different. I'm talking about the whole scenario of Jovi potentially cheating on Yara, bringing someone to her bed.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
He did.
He brought a lady to bed.
He brought a hurricane.
That's right.
We'll get there.
Yeah, usually the teases are a bit of a letdown. The one time it wasn't, and I wish it was, Sheila and David, when they kept teasing like, something bad happened, something bad. It's like, whoa, you under-teased that.
I mean, I saw the coffin, so...
Yeah. Anyways.
There are no other uses for a coffin.
No, but again, it could have been like a long-lost cousin, or, the fact that it was a mom.
Yeah.
Was as bad as it gets.
Let's not.
All right.
Be Debbie Downers on this pod.
You already did that with your breaking news, with your weather desk commentary.
Well, we had to acknowledge what's happening in our state.
All right. Acknowledge. All right. So you're following, you're subscribed, you're doing all that good stuff. The last thing we ask is if you could leave a review. We're suckers for reviews. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it on our Monday podcast.
Absolutely.
So we love that. So send one in if you haven't. We really appreciate that.
We do. It helps us, it helps us grow
Yeah.
as people, as podcasts,
Oh boy. I can tell just
as
by
individuals.
I can tell just by looking at Teresa when she started a sentence and doesn't know where it's going. And that was one of those times.
Yes, maybe. Let's just talk about our show.
All right, let's do it. The reason we're here, 90 Day, The Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 3.
Oh, already.
Yeah.
Flying by.
Yeah.
Well, flying by, but a lot has happened
A
in
lot.
3 freaking episodes. Like,
lot has
this show is off the hook.
Okay. All right. The 90s called. They want that saying back, but carry on.
All right. So we pick up where we left off. Basically, back in the jacuzzi with Small Ed, Angela, Kelly, and Molly.
I'm
and
pruning
of
it.
course, Liz.
I'm pruning at this point. I've been in this jacuzzi for too long.
Yeah, and we just kind of get the taste again of Ed being small. And Kelly's just, I can't deal with him. I'm an ex-cop. I can't. I'm just gonna leave. So he leaves. Angela is yelling, "Shut the fuck up, Ed." And here is where I want your opinion, right? So Kelly leaves. Molly follows him, which I was surprised. And Angela yelling at Ed, "Shut the fuck up." But
Yeah.
that was her standing up for him, apparently.
Well,
How?
I don't know if that, I don't know. She did seemingly take Big Ed's side. She says, "I'm always here for the underdog."
Well, when Kelly was still there and he kind of got upset and left, Angela was like, "Kelly, come on, don't leave." So I almost felt like, how is she taking Small Ed's side?
I don't know, but I do know that she claimed to because she said, "Oh, I take the underdog side," which my question is, how is Small Ed the underdog? He started the fight. I don't know if you can be the underdog if you started the fight.
No, of course not. And yes, I heard her say that was the only indication of that. So Angela saying, "Oh, I have his back." I'm like, really? If you didn't say it, I wouldn't have known.
Well, I think maybe she was trying to settle down the situation as opposed to if she piled on, if she took Kelly's side, that's only going to make Small Ed go even harder.
Well,
So-
I think if Small Ed is afraid of someone, it's Angela.
Maybe. I don't know that that's going to keep him from yapping.
And I don't think that's gonna keep her from going wild, but
No.
we'll get there. So Molly leaves with Kelly and they're kind of like walking away and laughing like, what the fuck just happened, right? And Kelly's like, I know we aren't talking really, but I always have your back. I wouldn't let anyone to disrespect you. And I was like, oh my gosh, they are having a moment, a breakthrough. Well, Molly's like, well, I don't really feel like you have my back. Like you haven't really been there. What have you done since you moved to Georgia? And she kind of killed it and walked to her room. And I think Kelly was just confused. I think he is there for a reason. I think he does want to fix this, but he just doesn't know how.
Yeah, he took that moment of negativity with Big Ed and Angela, and yeah, he used it as a way to bond with Molly.
Yeah.
But I think here's the thing. He was feeling and riding high because they were having this moment that they haven't had in a while, which is, oh, we're having a good moment. And then I think he fell even harder because she wasn't there to play along and be like, yeah, this was great. Everything's good again. She brought it right back to reality. And so it wasn't like he was just feeling okay. And then she said this. He was feeling great. Oh my gosh, we're walking, we're laughing, we're having a good time. We're heading back to the hotel room. And then she was like, no, not so fast. We're not good. I almost feel like she should have, if she's there to make strides in the relationship and try to resolve issues, she should have kept her mouth shut in that moment and just allowed them to have a positive experience together.
I agree. I was happy to see that because they need some breakthrough. They need something to connect over. And I know this is silly, but it was it.
Yeah.
And yeah, she kind of killed it. So he's going back to his room, I assume. We are going back to the jacuzzi.
Do we have to?
We do. So it's just Small Ed, Angela, and Liz, right? And this is where I realized that Angela was taking his side. So I was like, what? First of all, I would call Ed the undercat. If we have to call someone an underdog, let's just do an undercat.
Okay.
Am I right?
Well, okay.
And then Liz,
Explain for our new friends listening.
I just don't love cats.
Yeah.
Oh, I like certain cats. Like we watched a video of cat surfing.
That was nice.
That was a cool cat.
Yeah.
I also like when the cats have a grumpy face and they're very, very fluffy.
We like Cleo's cat.
Yeah, those are the grumpy cats with a very, very groomed.
Right. So, but you don't want to stain the idea of a dog.
Yes.
By saying
Underdog.
Small Ed could ever be an underdog.
Any dog.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna call him the undercat.
Okay. Fair enough.
Love dogs. Oh, some cats. Okay. So the issue here is that apparently Liz didn't stand up for Small Ed.
Mm-hmm.
But why would she stand up for someone who lied and cheated and then admitted to it?
Right.
Right? So I literally didn't get this whole thing. But Liz is like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to leave. You two talk. Because Angela was going at her. Like, why don't you stand up for your man? Like, blah, blah, blah. So Liz is leaving. And Angela's just yelling at her from the jacuzzi. And she's like, Angie, I love you, but you talk over everybody.
True.
Dun, dun, dun.
True. Yeah, that sets Angela off.
This is the hurricane just made a landfall.
Yeah.
And she, oh my God. I didn't realize, and I feel like we've seen this before with Angela, but I always forget how someone can go from 0 to 100 within seconds.
Oh, yeah. It's
out of control.
It's a sight to see. But the producers had to even step in and be like, excuse me, we have guests staying here. You need to take it down a notch.
Imagine staying at that hotel and just enjoying a glass of vino on the balcony and just hear Angela, you bitch, you bitch.
I'd be like, someone needs
right now, bitch.
Someone needs to turn off Jerry Springer. I don't know. Put on Shark Tank if you're at a hotel. That's hotel television.
So she gets out of the jacuzzi and she literally just yells at her. She's like, don't walk away, bitch. I'm not Ed. I'm like, wow. And she gets to her. And this is what I was like getting very uncomfortable with. She gets in her face, but like in her face and just yelling, being a couple of centimeters from her. You translate to our American friends.
Like half an inch.
Yeah. I was afraid for Liz.
Yeah.
And I also felt like, oh my gosh, like Liz is getting this secondhand smoke. Whoa.
You can't even blame this, I don't think, on alcohol. I don't even know if I've seen Angela get drunk. This is just her normal behavior.
Well, I think she was drinking. She always does when there are issues like this, when something escalates. And I think it's obviously her, but I think the alcohol pushes her a little over. Like she just gets somehow more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
This was just ridiculous. And I'm glad the crew stepped in because I was like, is she gonna punch Liz?
Yeah.
Kudos to Liz for just standing there, literally not even looking at her, being very calm, because I think if Liz started pushing back, Angela would have jumped her.
Oh, yeah. Especially after seeing what Angela did to her friend in the hotel lobby. I can only imagine what she would do to Liz.
I know. Yeah, that was wild. And it's crazy. Thanks for pointing it out. This is coming out a couple weeks after that thing happened in New York. And I saw some stuff on social media that TLC fired Angela over this, but they're still airing this, so I don't know.
I don't think they did. Yeah, because I think previously you could say Angela's bark is bigger than her bite, but then you see her rolling around a hotel lobby with her friend and you go, oh no, she bites too.
Her boobs are always out.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, I mean, she got new boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was crazy. And Angela literally like follows them back to the hotel room all the way to their little balcony.
Here's the interesting thing, because you say that, oh, Angela follows them back. Okay. Michael's not there. So they can't truly work on their relationship the way other couples can, right? It's going to be a little bit hindered. But it also frees Angela up to get into other people's business. She's got no one else to hang with.
Correct.
She's got no one, oh, I'm going to go back to the hotel room and relax with Michael. She's got nobody. So she needs to entertain herself, which is a terrible place for Angela to be. And so that's why we'll see her get into trouble with Jovi. That's why we see her getting into trouble here with Smollett and Liz, because she has no one else to entertain her.
Well, I was going to say this, and we'll also get to this scene, but maybe she was invited to join this show, not to work on her relationship, but to work on her anger issues. Because she is just out of control, and maybe TLC wants her to stay in the franchise because she brings the entertainment, but she needs to calm down, and she's gotten worse over the years.
Oh, yeah. That's a good theory.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. But yeah, that's a great point of her just getting into other people's business because she has all the time.
Yeah. So, all right. Cut to then Asuelu and Kalani. They're outside their room talking about the challenge that they went through, that obstacle course, and how they felt they did well. And so it's a good moment for them. They're bonding. And Kalani's realizing, I shouldn't be talking to my hall pass. I think I'm going to block him.
Yes, and then she asks her third child, Asuelu, if he wants to press the button. I'm like, is she really asking him to block the guy she banged multiple times?
That was easy.
And he loved it. It's like you could see the joy that brought to him. Like kids, they love pressing shit and buttons and play around with little things.
Yeah.
But that was Asuelu. That was the moment when he pressed the button and it just brought all this happiness.
I have a couple thoughts about this.
Okay.
Because it seems innocent at first.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not at all. And for one, it feels like a weird consolation prize that she's trying to give Asuelu. Like, I know I fucked this guy, but I'll let you press it. Like, it seems like this is trying to make amends by allowing him to press the button. But then in a more sinister way, I feel like she almost can't come to it herself to press the block button. She needs someone else to do it.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
She doesn't have the willpower to actually press block. So she's making Asuelu do it.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can unblock someone, I think.
And I don't think she will for these 2 weeks.
Not for the 2 weeks.
But I truly believe she couldn't get herself to do it. And so she's like, oh, well, okay, if we're going to do it, you do it. Like, I can't, you do it. And I think that's why he did it.
Yeah. Well, he's like, can I hug you? And they hug. And I'm like, this is like a mother and child relationship. What is happening?
Yeah.
Like I don't think she can get back on track with Asuelu after she tasted something else that in her mind was better. He treated her better.
The only reason they will make it work if they do is for the kids.
True, but I hate to say it, but you have to draw the line somewhere, whether you have kids or not. And if you're not happy, you're not gonna be happy with your kids. If you're not happy with your partner, the family dynamic is not going to work. Then I'm not saying she would, but you may take it out on the kids in a way that you might not be your best happy self all the time, right? You might be frustrated and upset, and the kids can pick up on things too.
And you want to show your children a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
You don't want your kids to see you fighting with dad every day.
Absolutely. So let's see how these two can work this out.
So then we get Jovi and Yara. They're having dinner. Yara wanted to plan something nice so she could smooth things over since Jovi wasn't happy about the birth control news.
Yeah, well, not even that. He wasn't happy about her saying it in front of everyone because he is not on board with the group therapy.
So what are your thoughts about this? Because I think in any other circumstance, I'm Team Jovi on this. But this is the premise of the show.
I agree, but I think something like this, and he said it before, could have been said during one of those one-on-ones, and they will be having like 2-on-1s with the expert,
Yeah.
that would have probably been a better place for that. Because no one, here's the thing, when they do this group therapy and the experts introduce some questions they want to work with the couples on, sure, you answer, you do it. But she just brought it by herself. It came out of nowhere. She's like, I have a secret, I need to get out, right?
Yeah. I think she may have felt supported in that circle. If she did it one-on-one, the therapist, by nature of their position, is not going to take sides. I think she looked around that circle and said, some of these women, maybe some of these men, have my back. And you heard, I think it was Kalani, when Yara said, oh, I'm taking birth control. Kalani's like, oh, hell yeah. Yeah, you are. It's your body. You do what you, right? Like, she was supported in that moment, and I think maybe that's why she chose to say it then.
That's a good point. I mean, I don't think she did anything wrong because it was a group therapy. The only thing I'm saying, I could put my mind behind the fact that Jovi is like, well, I just wish you didn't sit in front of everyone. We could have had a conversation in private with maybe one-on-one with the therapist, right? Or two-on-one, whatever you want to call it. So I can understand both sides, but yeah, she didn't do anything wrong. However, she did wrong by not talking to him to begin with, right? Having a conversation, be like, hey, I don't want to have kids right now. I'm going to get on birth control. Let's revisit whenever. Because I don't think Jovi would be so savage to impregnate her. That would be borderline illegal in a way, and it would be breach of trust of the relationship. That would be horrible. I don't think he would do that.
No, I think as far as the whole like my body, my choice thing, I would say have the conversation with your husband. You're married to this man. You've made that choice. Have the conversation. Communication is so important. If he says, no, I don't want you taking birth control, then you can still take it. That's when I go like, oh, it's your body, your choice. You take whatever you want or don't take whatever you want. But it's your relationship. You should have a conversation first.
Yeah, for sure. So Jovi is still pissed. They're having this dinner on the boardwalk and
like a dock.
Yeah, a dock. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's not just the birth control. It was you not telling me about wanting to buy an apartment in Prague. You not telling me about wanting to stay in Europe. And now this, it's one thing after another. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to look at this.
Yara needs to take a step back, I think, and realize that what she's doing will make Jovi feel uncertain in the relationship. She's not necessarily doing anything to break trust, I wouldn't say. But the fact that she wants to move to Europe, the fact that she may buy an apartment, he feels like, okay, I don't know what she's going to do next. She wants to be praised for all of her ideas. Like, she really wants to be praised for her real estate idea. And she thinks it's the best idea in the world. Maybe it is. But again, if you had a conversation and took into account what your partner's thinking and feeling, do whatever you want after the fact, but at least let him be heard. Then I think you're setting your relationship up for success, your ideas up for success. You're going to do it together like a couple instead of thinking, I'm right, you're wrong. That's what's making Jovi feel like, oh, I don't know what she's going to do next.
Well, you made a great point because she doesn't tell him about any of her ideas until it's already happening, right? She didn't tell him about, hey, I'm thinking of buying an apartment until they were in Prague looking at one. She didn't tell him prior, hey, I'm going to stay in Europe with my mom to spend some time with her. You're traveling, you're going back to work. Why not, right? They just need to talk about things before the things are actually happening. That's it. Like, she just needs, they need to have a better communication. One of the main C's.
The 4 C's, yeah. And Yara doesn't see the error in her ways, and so Jovi gets frustrated. He grabs the champagne off the table, and he's like, I'm going for a walk. So he takes off, and Yara goes to the room.
Yeah, he like sits in this beautiful Adirondack chair by the fire, and that's where we leave him.
Yes.
But that's not where we're gonna find him.
No. We saw for just a split second Hurricane Angela kind of storming through the resort, just hooting and hollering.
Yes.
And I just mentioned that because nothing comes of it, but I just mentioned that to set the tone so we can remember the state of mind that she was in as Jovi kind of peeled off and Yara went to the room.
Yeah, so we go back to actually Angela, Liz, and Ed. As you said, Angela leaves them alone and goes elsewhere. And Liz and Ed are arguing. And here, Ed is getting smaller and smaller because he's like, you got what you deserved. You deserved all that. I'm like, she deserved what? She deserved to be freaking yelled at by Angela because of something you did. The fact that she didn't stand up for you because you lied, you cheated, you admitted it. So what?
Yeah.
It's not like Kelly was just attacking you. You started it.
It was really pretty disgusting. Like, I never thought that we could dislike Smollett more. But it seems episode by episode, we're finding more reasons to dislike him. And yeah, him just going off on Liz deserved the ass chewing. Oh, I feel good that she got her ass served. I feel good about that, even though she's the woman I love. So I kind of feel bad.
He is the biggest ass, and I think he should go on the villain show, not Anfisa.
Oh.
Imagine him there.
Here's the reason I bet you he didn't get the call. And I said it before. He wants to be the villain. He's trying so hard to be the villain. He thinks it's cool. That's the character he wants to play. I think they don't even want to fuel that fire because he wouldn't know when to stop that.
Oh, he doesn't know when to stop now. It's literally outrageous how small he's getting, like smaller and smaller. And as we always say, has nothing to do with his height.
No.
It's just, he's such a shitty person.
The way he carries himself.
Such a shitty person that it's unbelievable. And maybe it's more shocking to us because we haven't really been watching him in the past couple of years.
That's a good point.
Were kind of boycotting him, but he just got way worse.
That's a good point. Yeah, Liz is like, everyone called you a cheater, and then you're upset, even though you admitted that you cheated. And Smollett's like, well, it's just a game. It's not cheating in our relationship. Okay, you didn't cheat in your relationship, but you're letting this argument affect your relationship. So that's still bad that you're going to let this dumb argument affect your relationship. No, you didn't cheat on Liz, but you're hurting Liz with this argument.
Yeah, and it's not like they played Monopoly and he cheated. This was a game that was created by the experts to make sure, or like to look at how they communicate and see, all right, can this couple communicate? Do they need to work on things? Like what's going on? And he cheated in that game. It's out of control. It's like, dude, grow up.
Yeah. So Liz ends up going to sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
And they'll pick it up in the morning.
Yes.
So I think this is a good place to take a break. I'm a bit worked up.
Oh, yeah.
I think I need to count to 10. We'll take a break. We'll tell you about our sponsors for this episode. And when we come back, it'll be a new day. We'll be calm, cool, and collected. All right?
All right.
We'll be back in a second. Hey, guys. This episode is brought to you by Smart for Life.
Between podcasting, traveling, and everyday life, John and I are always on the go, which makes it hard to plan and cook healthy meals every day. But thanks to Smart for Life, we never miss out on great tasting, balanced nutrition.
That's absolutely right. Smart for Life is a doctor-designed health and wellness company that specializes in delicious and nutritionally balanced snacks with a focus on weight management and overall well-being.
They have so many amazing choices from cookies to kits. But my favorite is their gourmet protein bars.
Tell them your favorite flavor, Teresa.
It's s'mores.
True. Smart for Life does have s'more protein bars. They also have lemon protein bars, cinnamon pecan protein bars, and more. You can even choose a variety box.
And they don't just taste great. They are made with high-quality ingredients, too.
So whether we're traveling or recording back-to-back podcasts, Smart for Life has become our go-to meal replacement.
And if you are watching your portions like me, each bar is individually wrapped.
Now here's the best part. Right now, we can save you 20% on your next order by using promo code MREAL20 at smartforlife.com.
That's right. Just use promo code MREAL20, which is MREAL20 at smartforlife.com for 20% off.
Thank you to Smart for Life for sponsoring this podcast. And Teresa, hand over that smorf.
Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Next Active. We've all heard the sayings, look good, feel good, and work hard, play hard. Well, Next Active doesn't just say it, they live by it. And here's the thing, activewear has to do more than just look amazing. It has to perform amazing. And when it does, it can help you look, feel, and perform your best too. That's what Next Active is all about. Located right in the heart of Los Angeles, Next Active is high-performance activewear that delivers. And that's not all. The company is overseen by an amazing all-women team too. And here's the best part. Right now, when you shop nextactive.com, we can save you 20% of your purchase by using promo code Reality20NUX. That's Reality20NUX. Guys, I'm loving the 1x1 long sleeve set, but there's so many amazing collections to choose from in super cool colors and cuts. Everything you need to go from the gym to brunch. Hello, bottomless Bloody Marys. So again, save 20% of your purchase right now at nextactive.com with promo code Reality20NUX. That's Reality20NUX at checkout. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast and make positive moves with Next Active.
Na
Na zdraví!
This episode is brought to you by Drizzly.
Want to know what's even easier than throwing a drink?
Should I ask Benny's sister? Or maybe Kimberly knows?
I'll tell you. Getting a drink delivered right to your doorstep with Drizzly, your go-to app for alcohol delivery.
Of course. Drizzly lets you shop local stores, compare prices, and have your favorites delivered right to your door. Drama-free.
Exactly. No cake throwing, no name calling, just a smooth and tailored shopping experience.
Drama's fun to watch, but we prefer a hassle-free experience when it comes to getting our drinks.
Absolutely. Why leave the couch when the drinks can come to you?
I agree. Just download the Drizzly app or visit drizzly.com today. That's DRIZLY.com today.
So, thank you, Drizzly, for sponsoring our podcast, and I'll have John put a link in our show notes.
You must be 21 plus, and availability varies by location. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Whew. I've calmed down. Okay?
Are you not going to say hello to me?
Hello, Teresa.
New day, who dis?
New day, who dis? Sister. It's sister time, sister brunch.
Yes, Kalani and Colini are brunching because Asuelo is watching the kids.
Yes.
And this was kind of just a recap of what happened. Kalani's telling Colini all the things that happened with Asuelo and the experts.
Saying who's there. Oh, Molly's there. My favorite's there. Molly and Kelly are not together. They're gossiping. Okay, it's a gossip brunch.
Yeah. And then she tells her, she's like, I have no regrets about the hall pass because now I know what I really want from Asuelo. Like before, I was getting the bare minimum and it was okay because I had nothing to compare him to. But now I know that I want more from a relationship. I want more from my partner, not just sexually. I just want more.
Yeah. And she says she's going to put in some work. And Kalini says, you know Asuelu better than anyone. So if you think he is really trying, go for it. Mm-hmm. Try to make it work. And I'm sure that does come from a place of you guys have kids together.
Yeah.
So try to make it work.
For sure.
So then some of my favorite footage.
Yeah. Hungover Jovi sitting in the corner of the bed.
We get that Nest cam.
Oh, yeah.
That security camera footage. That eagle eye. That hitting cam.
And we learn what happened. So,
oh boy.
apparently, Jovi went out after his Adirondack chair launching, and he met Angela at the bar randomly. They got wasted, came back to the room at 2 a.m.
Hello.
Blasting music. Angela jumped on the bed, apparently.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get Yara out of the bed. Yara was absolutely shocked. And she's just so upset. She's crying. She goes like, there are other guests sleeping here. You have a drinking problem. And why the fuck did you bring Angela to my bed? And that was the whole tease.
Okay.
Why did you bring her to our bed?
Let's slow down because there's a lot to unpack.
I
here.
know.
All right. First of all, did I just put this in my notes or did Yara say Angela had her boombox outside?
Yeah, she did say that.
So explain that to me, because all I can picture is say anything, like Angela recreating that famous scene. Why did you travel with a boombox?
I think it's Yara's English. She maybe
it was a Bluetooth speaker.
I think it was a Bluetooth speaker. I also put in my notes, but I was like, am I incorrect? So I didn't say. But yes, she said Angela's just like blasting her boombox outside at 2 a.m. with our guests.
Yeah. So, okay. Yes. They got wasted and then thought it was a great idea to go jump in bed with Yara. And yeah, how can you not be Team Yara in this situation?
And she's like genuinely crying, like genuinely upset. That's that cry that you produce when you're just so mad and the partner is not listening, or whoever you're talking to. And yes, I feel her pain. I've been there, not with you, but just like being frustrated. Like just this is like a frustration cry.
Yeah. So, okay, let's keep going line by line because there's a lot to unpack here. So Jovi's defense is, you disrespected me yesterday, so now I got you back. Okay. That's terrible to have that mindset.
Also, how did you get her back? By bringing Angela into the room with the boombox?
Yeah. Yeah. So terrible to even have that mindset of, oh, you did something bad to me, so I'm going to do something bad to you,
Yeah.
right? It's elementary school 101. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 lefts do.
Absolutely.
So that's terrible. Then Yara goes, if you're going to do this to me, we're going to get a divorce.
Ooh.
Dropping the D word, I don't think you just do that willy-nilly. I think if you say that word, that's pretty serious.
I think she's seriously upset. And I think it maybe comes from, we all know Jovi likes to drink. And listen, we love to have a cocktail too. I'm not judging that at all. But I think he parties way more than Yara. And maybe that's a problem for her.
Well, that's the other part I wanted to address. She says you have a problem, go to rehab or something. Another thing I don't think you just say. I think that is a real comment, a real feeling she has, and I think it's serious. I think we all joked around during Jovi's season, oh, he loves to drink, oh, he's going to the strip club. It may be worse than that. He may actually have a drinking problem if Yara's saying this.
Well, I thought he's just not playing this persona, but we always meet these new people and they all have something, right? Jovi was the party boy who loves to drink and hit the strip clubs, the young bachelor with a cool job, 1 man in, 1 man out. Like, that was his persona. But I think maybe, yes, you're right. Maybe he does like drinking a little too much.
Like, I never would have watched their season and said, oh, Jovi probably needs rehab. I watch Christian and Cleo.
Oh.
And I go like, oh, Christian probably needs rehab.
Yeah, he does.
Right? He's in denial. He's telling people at the bar, oh, I don't really drink a lot. He's crushing whiskey at 9 a.m. Like, okay, I don't know him and I should not diagnose someone through an hour of television, 2 hours of television every week. But those to me are red flags. I saw Jovi going out and having fun, but he never seemed out of control, really. He never was doing anything that crazy, right? But if Yara's saying it, I have to believe it.
Well, to give Jovi the benefit of the doubt, I don't think Yara drinks. I think she has a cocktail.
Oh, she has an Aperol Spritz.
Well, yeah, but she maybe drinks like we do now, or I do. Like, we're not
10 drinks a day?
No, we're not getting wasted. We used to in our 20s. Sure, let's go out on the weekends, hit the clubs, whatever. But now, like, if we go out, we have a couple of cocktails, right? We have conversations. We go to nice bars where we can sit and chat, maybe listen to live music. We don't go out, we don't get wasted. Like, the last time I was truly drunk and hungover was my mom's birthday party, because it was a freaking 12-hour long party.
Yeah.
And you just are there and you keep drinking, everyone's doing shots. That killed me the next day. So we don't drink like this. I don't think Yara does either, but maybe Jovi still likes to party, like likes to have a little, a couple more cocktails to set the mood. And if one of you is drunker than the other, or if one is drunk, the other isn't, you can tell. And that is kind of I think can be concern for her, thinking, hey, I have my Aperol Spritz. Why do you have 4 drinks in the meantime and now you're drunk?
Yeah, it's just a lot of big words thrown out in this one segment. Divorce, rehab.
Yeah.
Those are heavy words.
Mm-hmm.
If you said either of those things to me, we'd be having a long, serious talk about, do you really think that? Do I have a problem? Are we
for sure.
Not as solid as we thought we were? Like, you can't just throw those words out.
For sure.
So it really stuck with me how serious this scene was.
I know.
But Jovi apologizes, and I think...
Yeah, because she's like, she can't take it, so she walks to the bathroom, and I think it hits him as hungover as he feels. He, like, stands up and follows her and apologizes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Then we see Dr. Janie heading to Angela's room to address the storm that blew through last night.
So she sits at her balcony, and here's what I'm thinking. I think they blocked off 10 rooms in the hotel next to each other.
Smart.
Yeah, I would hope to like keep them all on one side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they all have like, I think all of them at the ground level, because they all seem to have those balconies. We've seen Angela on the balcony. We've seen Joey and Yara. We've seen Small Ed. We've seen everyone.
Right.
So I think everyone's on the main level, which makes it worse because I think it's louder.
You may be right.
Yeah. So we see Dr. Janie meeting Angela at her balcony.
Oh, so what brings you here, Dr. Janie?
And I love how professional Dr. Janie is.
First of all, turn that boombox down.
I love how professional she is, because she's like, I just want to know how it's going.
How's the retreat?
And Angela's like, it's been great. I'm loving it.
She goes, I've been learning so quickly. What? What not to do? What have you learned, Angela?
Well, Dr. Janie's like, well, I've heard there was some issues last night. And Angela's like, who ratted me out?
She's like, it's important that we represent ourselves well here. Not only for us, but there are guests. And I heard last night there was a ruckus. And it wasn't a level 10 ruckus. It was a level 12.
Yeah, and Angela's like, who ratted me out?
Who ratted me out?
And Dr. Janie's like, Angela, I'm also staying here. Which makes me think that she's definitely in that block of rooms.
Yeah.
And I think she just heard it firsthand.
Yeah. So Angela's like, well, okay, what was wrong with my behavior last night? If everyone's talking, tell me what was wrong.
Oh, boy.
And Janie goes, well, how about you tell me?
I love this. It's a great approach.
It's I feel like it's 101, but you need to let the other person talk. Once Michael, Scott, and Toby. Toby just trying to get Michael to talk.
Goodbye, Toby. Goodbye, Toby.
Right? And then once Michael started talking, started to spill out.
Yeah.
So Janie's like, well, why don't you tell me? I don't want to put words in your mouth. You tell me. And Angela says, well, Liz made a comment about how I talk over people, and it reminded me how Michael lies because she's lying about me, and I'm not going to take it.
Yeah. And so Janie says, you have a good heart, Angela. I see where you're coming from. You're standing up for people. But some of those qualities can also turn at you or turn around, and they're not so positive.
Right. There's another side to that coin, right? There's the positive side of why you're doing this, or the positive that comes from it. But there's also a negative, and there could be a negative reason to why you are choosing to act the way you're acting.
Yeah. And so she just puts it out there. She says, Angela, I would like to help you work on your anger. I think we can get it under control. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to flip. She's going to flip. But she agrees.
Yeah. Well, because Janie said it's a secondary emotion, right? Anger is the secondary emotion. There's something that precedes that's triggering you. And I think
someone's dad is a psychologist.
No, I just take good notes.
Oh.
And she says there's something that's triggering you, and I think we can work on that while we're here.
And Angela agrees, and she tells the camera, she's like, she's right. I do have an anger problem. I'm always angry at Michael. She's like, and then I think I just bring it out on other people. Yes?
You think?
Well, I don't think she learned a lot because this is a year ago and we saw her jumping her friend a couple of weeks ago.
Such a good point. Such a good point. So, all right. Fingers crossed, though. So Liz is on the couch now and Smallhead's waking up. The room is I think Hurricane Angela must have blown through there, too, after stopping at Yara's room because there's wine bottles on the floor. There's clothes everywhere. That was an absolute disaster.
Horrible. And Smallhead is like, this is a mess. And Liz is like, it's half of it is yours. And she walks away. They're arguing a little bit and she's like, I need to get out. So she leaves and we see her calling her mom Patty.
Second super mom of the week for 90 Day Mother Patty. First we had Mother Nadia with Nicola coming in strong, making a great appearance.
Yeah.
And then we had Mother Patty. We're all Mother Patty.
So we've never met Patty. We've met her grandma and grandpa who apparently raised Liz. So I'm not sure about this relationship, if it's been damaged or it's been fixed, how recent. But this is the first time we are hearing about Mother Patty.
Yeah. And so Liz is crying, talking to mom, and she's getting a little frustrated and says, Ed never listens to me. Ed never lets me talk. Everything is always about him. And Patty goes, it's time to teach him a lesson.
Yeah, she's like, he thinks he's God's gift to the world, but he's really not.
That's right, Patty. Tell it like it is.
Well said.
Yeah, so I think that was the pep talk Liz needed. Liz goes back inside the room and says, are you ready to listen? Am I allowed to speak now? And Liz says, I don't feel supported or like I'm being heard. So I'm going to speak for once.
Yes.
If you don't listen, I'll walk away and not participate in group therapy today.
And he's like, sure, like, speak. So she starts, and he tries to interrupt her.
He totally tries to interrupt her.
He is such a moron that, oh my God. Meanwhile, we see him eating his bagel. I'm like, we don't need to see this. We need him to put a bagel in his mouth. He was eating a bagel before.
But you're like, we don't need to see this.
Yeah, well, he needs to put a bagel in his mouth and just listen to her.
Yeah. Liz is like, I'm not done. You hurt my feelings yesterday when you cheated. And Ed's like, I'm sorry I hurt you. It was just a game. It's not that serious. And Liz is like, you cheated me out of the experience. We're supposed to be taking this seriously.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's such a good point.
Go, Liz.
Right? Liz is in this. Liz is here. Liz is here to make strides in the relationship. And Smallhead's just using it as another way to project himself and get more cameos and make a bigger ass of himself. He's not there to work on the relationship. He's there to work on his brand.
Oh, yeah. I think Liz should just pack her stuff, leave, and never look back.
Yeah. So Ed's like, all right, well, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I do realize I don't listen to you, and we have trust issues, and we don't know how to communicate. So
great relationship.
Yeah. So he's like, all right, I learned my lesson. I'm going to take this seriously now.
Yeah, he's like, and I won't cheat. Do you even have to say like
that's table stakes? You shouldn't even be there.
Yeah.
If you're even thinking about cheating, right? You should be there 110% in this process, taking every day and every activity seriously.
I think this whole experience, him being on the show, really made his ego big.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And now it doesn't fit anywhere. It's
Who else gets
so
a tattoo of themselves on their body? It's unbelievable. So Liz is basically like, all right, you're saying all this. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Last chance, Small Ed. Last chance.
I'll believe it when I see it too, Small Ed.
Yeah.
Last chance, last resort. All right. That's the episode. What an episode. This show does not disappoint.
What an ep.
Does it disappoint, Teresa?
Never.
It doesn't disappoint. All right. I'm sad this episode has ended.
But I'm happy because it's coming back next week.
Yes. In the meantime, everyone stay safe.
Yes, please.
Batten down the hatches. Bring in your patio furniture.
Bring in your pets.
Bring in your pets. Hunker
Fold
down.
your Adirondack chairs.
Bring in your plants. Do what you got to do to stay safe. We're thinking about you guys in Florida. Check in on us. We'll check in on you. In the meantime, if you want more content, we're over on Patreon and Supercast. Also, we're on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. Call in over there. Share any news stories you got. Keep chatting. Also, just make sure you follow the podcast wherever you're listening. It's so easy to do. You just look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's heard. Yes, the previews for the next episode because every single time, hot.
So hot. All right. And last but not least, if you haven't left a review, please do. You guys know we're suckers for a little love. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, well, we'll read it on the Monday podcast.
Yes, I should have said as hot as the ocean around Florida because that's what causes the hurricanes.
You got to stop watching the news. All right. That is that. I've said it all. Teresa has said far too much. Far too much.
Back to the news.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.